Hey friends, I'm Amy, and today I wanted to head to Starbucks for some Cranberry Bliss Bars, except that it's not November, so they're nowhere to be found. So yeah, like some of the other copycats we've made so far, this one is a temporary menu item that only shows up at certain times of the year, and Starbucks only offers these late in the year around the holidays. But what if we want them now? I don't know about you, but I'll happily snack on cranberry stuff all year long. So let's make these at home, because we don't want to wait for 6 more months to have this most delicious and epic of snacks. So let's get cooking. First things first, preheat the oven to 350 degrees and make sure the oven rack is in the middle position. Next, we do need to line a pan with parchment paper. Now this can be a 9x13 baking dish like this one, but you can also use either a 9x13 or a 10x15 jelly roll pan if you have one. The 9x13 will give you thicker bars that are more like the Starbucks ones, but if you want thinner bars that aren't quite so substantial, the 10x15 is the way to go. You can see here I cut the corners a little so the parchment lays flatter in the pan, which just helps to keep the edge pieces from being lopsided. While the oven heats up, add 1 cup or 2 sticks of melted butter into a large bowl or stand mixer. Add in 1.5 cups of packed brown sugar and beat these together using either the paddle attachment on the stand mixer or hand mixer like I'm using here until they're fully combined and you see the color just starting to lighten. Then add in 2 eggs and beat the eggs in as well until they're fully incorporated. Next, add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 teaspoon of orange extract. You can see here that the batter is getting noticeably lighter at this point. It's almost like a caramel color. Now the dry ingredients. Add a teaspoon of baking powder, a half teaspoon of ground ginger, a half teaspoon of salt, and 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Mix the dry ingredients in using the mixer until they're about halfway mixed. They'll look like this, so not fully mixed, and then switch to a spatula or a spoon to finish combining the batter. Stir this just until everything is combined and then stop to avoid activating the gluten in the flour. We want these bars to be tender, and activating the gluten in the flour can make them too chewy or dense. Next, add in 1 cup of white chocolate chips and 3/4 of a cup of sweetened dried cranberries, like craisins. Fold these gently into the batter until the chips and the cranberries are evenly distributed throughout. Scrape the batter into the parchment-lined baking sheet we prepared earlier and spread it out so it's in an even layer. You don't need to grease the pan or anything because this batter has plenty of butter in it to keep it from sticking as it bakes. But at the moment, it's a little thick, so it wants to pull the paper all over the place. Just kind of work the batter out to the edges and smooth everything out so you have as even a layer as you can. Bake this in the oven for 18 to 22 minutes or until the center is set and the edges are just turning golden. I would recommend keeping a close eye on it toward the end of the baking time because depending on your oven, you may need to bake this a hair under or even over the recommended time. Mine actually took 24 minutes, but they turned out exactly the right consistency. The most important thing though is to not overbake these because then the bars can get too hard. When the bars are done baking, you can see those lovely golden edges and they even have that delightful crackly like brownie Blondie top. Place the pan on a cooling rack so there's airflow underneath the pan and then let the bars cool completely in the pan just like this. While those bars are cooling, we're going to do the one little teeny bit of choppy prep that these bars have. Grab some more dried cranberries, a 1/3 cup this time, and give them a rough chop. We don't need to pulverize them, just make them a little smaller since these are going to get sprinkled on the top of the bars. When you're done, set these to the side in a little bowl for later. When the bars are completely cool, it's time to make our frosting. And again, you can use a stand mixer or bowl with a hand mixer for this. Add 8 ounces or 1 block of softened cream cheese and beat this until it's nice and creamy and smooth. Then add 1.5 cups of powdered sugar and a half teaspoon each of orange and vanilla extract. Whip these together until the frosting is lovely and fluffy and creamy like this. Okay, now it's time to frost these bars. I removed mine from the pan using the parchment paper, but right off the bat, I would recommend leaving them in the pan while you frost them, because these are still really soft at this point. Start with the frosting and spread it all over the bars, every last little bit of that stuff. Now you can go the whole way to the edges with the frosting, or you can leave the edges bare, that one's entirely up to you. Then sprinkle the chopped dried cranberries all over the top of the bars. Try to get them relatively evenly spread out, because once they're on there, that's pretty much where they're gonna be. Since moving them around would just result in messing up the frosting or having frosting covered cranberries. Now the last step is purely decorative and optional, because these still taste exactly like Starbucks Cranberry Bliss Bars without it, but the decoration makes them look exactly like Cranberry Bliss Bars too. Melt a square or two of white baking chocolate or vanilla almond bark and use a fork to create the little white chocolate streaks all over the top of the bars. Just dip the fork in the white chocolate and then make little drizzle streaks all over the bars, kind of haphazardly and in various directions, and these will look just right. You can cut into these right now, but they are still really soft. If you chill them for about an hour, they'll firm up and have the perfect texture and consistency of the Starbucks Cranberry Bliss Bars. Since I went and took mine out of the pan, I put this whole cutting board in my deep freezer for like 30-35 minutes since it's way too big to fit in my fridge. But it worked perfectly though, and after about a half hour, it's time to cut these into their signature triangles. The easiest way to do this is just to first cut them into squares. You can cut them into whatever size squares you like, and I'll admit I made mine a little big, but we can make them any size we want when we make them at home, right? Then make diagonal cuts from corner to corner. I went from the top left corner to the bottom right, just because that's what was most comfortable for me. And now we have triangle bliss bars. Just make sure to watch out for cranberry bliss bar thieves, because your bars are going to disappear in seconds. These bars are perfect in every way. They look exactly like Starbucks Cranberry Bliss. They taste exactly like Starbucks Cranberry Bliss. They're beautiful, delicious, and we never have to wait for November ever again. These blondies are buttery and sweet with a little cranberry tanginess, and the orange and ginger make this a warm and comforting treat that we can enjoy all year long. My only challenge will be how to make them last more than 2 days. I might actually have to hide some of these things. And now for the money, and this one's a doozy. Whew. Starbucks charges $3.95 in store for one triangle, or you can buy a tray of 6 for anywhere from $16.95 to $19.95, just depending on where you are. If you cut the triangles to the correct size, not huge like mine, you'll have 24 bars. And I spent $13.93 on everything to make these, and as usual, I have the cost breakdown in the description if you want to see how that breaks down. So we made 24 bars for the price of about 3.5 bars at the store, and less than the price of one of the 6-piece trays. It would cost us almost $95 at Starbucks to buy 24 Cranberry Bliss Bars, or anywhere from $67 to $80 for 4 of those 6-piece trays that you can get at the grocery store around the holidays. Any way you slice it, triangles or not, that is an incredible savings. Thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe, maybe leave me a comment below. It helps to grow my channel, and I'm having so much fun making these copycat recipes, so I want to keep doing this and getting double the food for half the price, and so many times we're doing even better than that. Come and hang out with me on Sundays for comforting and cozy home-cooked meals and treats. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you back here next Wednesday for some more better at-home copycat cooking. Bye!